You know, a lot of people think that amazing speakers are just born with it, that they have some kind of natural talent. But what if I told you that being an unforgettable communicator isn't a gift, it's a skill? And in this explainer, we're going to build that skill together, step by step.
Oh, you know that feeling, right? Someone asks you a question, completely out of the blue, and your brain just short circuits. It's like a dozen browser tabs pop open at once, and you're scrambling, trying to find the right words. You end up saying something, but it's just a jumbled mess. So frustrating. Well, today, that panic ends.
Here's the big secret. You can absolutely learn to be a brilliant communicator. We're going to level up your entire communication game in 3 key stages. First, we'll get rid of all the bad habits that make people tune you out. Then, we're going to install some pro-level frameworks that make your message impossible to forget. And finally, we'll unlock the secret to creating those really, truly deep connections.
Okay, so first things first. Before we can build a skyscraper, we've got to patch the leaks in the foundation. This first part is all about stopping the things that are literally robbing your words of their power. We're going to hunt down the common mistakes that make people's eyes glaze over. Speaker Julian Treasure calls these the 7 deadly sins of speaking. And I love that because you can think of them like verbal leeches that just suck the life out of your message. You know, from the constant negativity that's just exhausting to listen to making excuses that absolutely kill your credibility. These are the habits we need to spot so we can stop.
And this quote just nails the real-world cost, doesn't it? Take gossip. Sure, it can feel like you're bonding in the moment, but like Treasure says, it completely demolishes trust. Why? Because the person you're gossiping with knows that as soon as your back is turned, you could be talking about them. And honestly, most of these habits come from a place of fear, but they only end up making us less powerful.
All right, we've cleared out the bad habits. Now it's time to go on the offense. This section is all about the cheat codes, the actual frameworks that great communicators use to make sure their message doesn't just get heard, it gets remembered.
So the first tool we're putting in your toolkit is this awesome framework from Coach Yasser Khan. It's called the SHARE framework. It's a really simple 5-part formula that'll make sure what you're saying actually lands with your audience. Seriously, this is your new secret weapon for crafting memorable messages.
So let's break it down real quick. S is for stand out. You got to start with something that grabs attention. H is for highlight. Don't bury your main point, just come right out and say it. A is for address them. Literally use the word you to make it personal. R is for repeatable. Tell stories or use analogies that are super easy for people to retell later. And finally, E is for emotion, because facts on their own are just boring.
This quote perfectly explains that highlight step. So many of us do this. We bury our main idea under tons of slides and data and just fluff. We give people the fancy gift wrap, but we forget to give them the actual gift. Your job as a communicator is to point directly to the gift, that one thing you really want them to walk away with. And this is the absolute core of E for emotion. Facts tell, but feelings sell. It's so true. People can hear your logic, they can see your data, but they won't truly believe it or remember it unless you make them feel something. Excitement, hope, curiosity. Emotion is the superglue that makes your message stick.
So, we've got the SHARE formula down, but what does it look like in the real world? Let's actually analyze a few pro-level moves from one of the most compelling speakers out there, Barack Obama, and see how he uses these principles to sound so confident and clear.
We're going to look at 4 specific techniques he uses just masterfully. First, using summary prompts to highlight the key message. Second, using analogies to make complex ideas repeatable. Third, using vulnerability to connect with emotion. And fourth, using humor, which just instantly builds rapport.
Okay, this is a brilliant example of making a point repeatable. Instead of giving some dry academic lecture on the human condition, Obama uses this incredible analogy. It instantly paints a picture in your mind, right? It makes a super complex idea simple and totally unforgettable. It's a little story you can easily tell someone else, which is the entire point of the R and SHAR.
And this right here shows the incredible power of emotion through vulnerability. Sharing something that personal doesn't make him look weak, it makes him human. It makes him relatable, it builds a bridge between him and us, and it makes us feel something. Authenticity really is a superpower.
Now here's another super practical tool for you. This one's from Vin Jiang, and it's designed to kill rambling forever. It's the 3-2-1 framework. So the next time you're put on the spot and your brain starts to panic, Just pick one of these. Give 3 steps to solve a problem, name 2 types of people, or just state one crucial thing to remember. It's like an instant structure for your brain to lean on. So useful.
So, we've covered how to speak clearly. We've covered how to be memorable. Now we're going to get to the final level, moving beyond just sending out information to actually forging a real human connection. This is where communication stops being a tool and starts transforming relationships.
And the key here is a simple little framework called LUV. And notice, it's not about what you say, it's about how you receive what someone else is saying. It all starts with truly listening. I mean, listening without already planning what you're going to say next. Then it moves to showing that you understand, and it all leads up to the most powerful step, validating their experience.
And to really nail that understand step, you have to see this data. A famous study found that when we're talking about feelings and emotions, our words, the actual words we say, are only 7% of the message. The rest of it? It's our tone of voice and our body language. So true understanding means listening with your eyes just as much as your ears. You gotta catch all those nonverbal cues.
And this right here is that crucial final step, validation. Just look at the difference. Validating someone isn't about agreeing with them. Nope. It's just about acknowledging that their feeling is real and legitimate from their point of view. Just saying, I can see why you feel that way, creates safety and trust. But saying you shouldn't feel that way, that just shuts the whole conversation down.
And that brings us to the ultimate takeaway from all of this. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The goal of all these techniques, avoiding those deadly sins, using the SHARE and LUV frameworks, it isn't just about talking better. It's about becoming unforgettable.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question. Think about a tough conversation you've got coming up, maybe at work, or a heart-to-heart with someone you care about, maybe even a big job interview. How are you going to use these tools to change the outcome? The skill is yours now. Go use it.